Welcome back to Structural Steel at the $1 Million Pool, Part 5. This is one of the craziest structural steel packages we have ever done. In this video, you are gonna see that we are making up the outermost edge of the home. This is the fascia. That's kind of the edge of the roof where you would normally hang your gutters on. This fascia is cantilevered out over the edge of the slab, and the slab is over 20 feet tall from grade. So working in some precarious situations. We're going down the whole side of the property, kind of tying everything together. I want to give a huge shout out to GM Bros. They have been absolutely crushing this project. And then looking at this massive structure and thinking that, man, we're not even halfway done with all the steel we have to do in the rest of the house is just mind-blowing. How awesome is that? But let's start getting into what went down this past week. So getting right into it, obviously, the first thing we need to do is use the SkyTrack, get a bunch of our beams and materials up over into the second floor, kind of get it back towards the house because we are working on the back side. You can see the guys doing a lot of different prep. They're cutting a lot of these hollow tubes. They're putting a lot of these L angles on. You see the perforations that are gonna accept bolts later. We're doing a lot of this prep, getting some base plates installed, just making sure that when we get everything up there, everything's prepped and ready to go, and then we can fly. Get a load of the 3D model right here. This is gonna make it make a lot more sense. We are working along the back side of the house, and this portion, it has to really extend around the whole perimeter. I mean, we're doing structural steel at the entire perimeter of this home. So you can see kind of how much we've done, what we're working on now, and then what's to come. Again, we are about halfway done. So we've had to set about 6 columns around the perimeter so far, but we need 2 more Big Daddy columns. So we call in the big guns. Victor, he's a fan favorite. If you've been following from the beginning, you know that Victor and his crew, they did the whole foundation for the $1 Million Pool. We love using Victor. We have a tough situation where there's some existing masonry on the back wall and it is overhanging, right? So we need to put a column right there at the corner. Get a load of Victor using the rock saw to cut back all that masonry. Now with it cut back, we have room to go in and set 2 base plates and get in those 2 daddy long legs 24-foot columns. Now, all of these columns are essential to join the structure of the existing main house to this new addition, and that is going to allow these fascia beams to connect and then continuously move around our perimeter. When you're doing high stakes work like this, it takes high stakes decision making. We have to execute on all of our details and craft this steel with perfection. This is why I use ENS energy pouches. The Focus blend is packed with nootropics like L-theanine and alpha-GPC. No artificial sweeteners, no junk. Replace the ritual of a nicotine pouch with an ENS pouch. It will keep your mind sharp. They have some exotic flavors like tropic mango and coffee, but there's also the greatest hits like wintergreen and peppermint. Head on over to nzepouches.com, put in promo code JGB, get your 15% off. Guys, I do not back a product I don't believe in. Try this stuff out. Let us know in the comments. We genuinely love this stuff and you will too. Now that we have the columns up, we are installing a cross beam. This is an HSS hollow tube. And if you look at the end of it, there's 2 L angles that kind of make up a butterfly at the edge. And what that's gonna do is those are perforated to receive the bolts, and that's gonna bolt in to some larger beams at the fascia. But just look at all the coordination that it takes to get a beam up there 24 feet tall. First, we're using the forklift with our hangman jig. We talked about this earlier. We are using this throughout the whole project. It is a jig that has the crane neck, and then on that is a winch. So they're using that to help lift and hoist the beam. They're also using the scissor lift to help lift that beam up there, and then obviously give the guys a platform to work on as they're welding it all out. it can be pretty tricky to get these beams exactly where they need to go, especially when you're dealing with two different connection points like both of these columns. So you see the Maestro, this is the father of GM Bros. He's got a strap and he's kind of helping pull that into place, and the guys are trying to hoist it, but you know, you have these height limitations and it's just difficult. But we get it in place, we weld it out, and now we're ready to move forward. So we have another similar condition where there's two columns and another cross beam. What I love is how ingenious these guys are. So we have the material lift and the forklift down below, right? And they're working on that, but they want to work in tandem. So what they did is they're using the mechanical material lift that is just crank driven, but it doesn't go high enough to what we need. So the guys cut some of that HSS. Those are about 18 inches tall. They get some slotted collars. They weld those on the bottom, and that goes right onto the forks. It slides right onto the forks of the material lift, and now we have another 18 inches, so it makes the height of that lift a lot higher, and then we can lift this beam into place, and then it's the same thing that we did before. Get it into place, make sure it's all level and plumb, and then weld it out. It has those same butterfly tabs on the end because it's gonna receive that fascia just like what we just did. Now they determined it's time. They want to get the scissor lift up to the second level. So check this out. Using the Sky Track, they attach the scissor lift to it, strap it all down, and then they're gonna lift that scissor lift up onto the second level so they can use it to maneuver around and easier work up there. Now we're working on a big old beam. This is about 20 feet long. And look, most other people, when they're installing structural steel, you're putting in a 20-foot beam, you're like, man, this thing is massive. But like compared to our 52 footers, this is elementary, right? But do not let this fool you. Everything at this project is just giant. I mean, look at the $1 million pool. Obviously, sensational title, crazy. But this structural steel package, it is freaking bonkers. Everything at this house is just massive and wild. It's like, what do we even name this thing? The $500,000 steel project? I mean, it's just, this project is just insane. Wait till y'all see the other details. Even just like our framing package. The millwork in this house is more than a lot of other high-end homes in general. It is just a wild project. But I digress. Now you see why we needed the scissor lift. We have this big old beam and we're lifting it up high. This is going about 12 feet up in the air because we have some tall ceilings. But I want to point out, check out the 3D model. This beam is actually just a cross beam that's going to hold more supports. So there's all this steel coming perpendicular off to that beam to hold up our cantilevered overhang that goes outside of our foundation. Okay, guys, I just want to preface that what's coming next, I was literally wondering, how the hell are the guys going to manage? We have a wall, okay, that we have to get up and over, and we have a beam that has to go outside of our foundation. So the machines on the inside literally are blocked by this wall, okay? And then we're hanging out over a 20-foot drop into the trees. There is no manual on this stuff. This isn't just like you do this in a certain way. You have to just make it work. And I just want to point out how ingenious these master craftsmen are. These guys will let no obstacle get in their way. First thing they do is they get this beam up and on top of the two cross beams that are there. Then they can move that vise, that kind of, it's kind of like, it's not a U, it's kind of like a circle or like a rectangle around that rectangle tube. And they have some bolts at the bottom so they can open and close it. And then that's what latches on. And then they have the hangman connected down to that rectangle. So then they move two of those hangmans with the winches over to where the crane of the hangman can hang over the edge. They strap up the beam and then they can use the winches to get that beam up, out, and over, and then flush out to the side. Then they can lower it in place. And then you see where those butterflies that I talked about, those come in handy. They have the perforations and then they can bolt those beams on. And my God, what a process. Again, GM Bros, to save the day. These are our go-to steel fabricators forever. Now it's time to repeat that same exact process, but on a much bigger beam. You see the guys with the material? Crank that soldier boy. So the guys crank that soldier boy on the material lift, and this is just a tough process. And you gotta just get the beam up there. You gotta continuously jockey it inch by inch, and they're making progress, but man, this is difficult, okay? We're getting kind of everything in place. We're using those winches, and we finally get it outside of the structure, and then we just have to lower it ever so slightly, get it into place, and get those bolts in. We've done it. Now, we have to do it again on an even bigger beam at the lower structure. All right, now our biggest and baddest beam that's hanging over the edge of this foundation. Look at the coordination this takes. We have 2 winch jigs, we have the scissor lift, we have the sky track, and we're working all of that in tandem while this beam is overhanging the edge, and we are literally just 24 feet in the air trying to get this in place. Just like the other two, we have to maneuver this all in place. The guys have to get very creative because the angles are tough. The sky track's actually down there all the way on the ground, and that arm is raised almost to its max point. With much effort, we get it into place, bolt it all on, and we are good to go. But now we need to put on another beam that is perpendicular to this. So the foundation kind of zigzags, and we have this jut out, and that beam has to go and get welded on this side, but it's floating on this side because there's no column because the foundation isn't there. So they hook up another winch and they hold the side of that beam while they weld it on. And that beam is going to receive one final beam that the guys are going to install. We have a little time lapse of that happening. They stayed late to make it happen. And now we have basically the whole back side of our house all the way out to the fascia. Now we can put on our roof over there. We have our overhang set up, and man, what incredible progress for the week. We still have a lot to go. We're doing at least 3 more of these, but we are making tons of progress. And then right after that, we're moving into framing. And man, this is a big house nearing about 9,000 square feet. So that's gonna be awesome. Film every stage of the framing and then do another little video of the framing. And then we're gonna do this on every single line item all the way through completion of the build. And then we're gonna give you guys a massive video from the very, very start of the $1 million pool all the way to finishing it. So keep following along, guys. Now, the Raw channel is growing like crazy. We are getting tons of views. People are loving this stuff. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. We will link it down in the description below. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you next week.